Hey guys, welcome back to Genius Learning. In this video, I just want to go over some how to draw cylinder shapes in physics. And here I've just drawn some of the things that represent cylinders that you may have forgotten. And plus, I was just doodling. But you got the classic toilet paper, battery that we'll shade in later, spiral staircase, not sure what that is, a candle, and we got maybe a cake, something sliced so you can see the inside. So these are the more advanced type of cylinders. Let's start off with some of the basics. So we want to take let's look at it sideways. All right, so we're gonna do like in the previous videos for spheres, we kind of want an oval shape. So we're just gonna do this type of thing until we have like a grape type of shape. And it doesn't matter how many lines you do. So you just want like the average of it to be the shape, very light. Then we're gonna run lines horizontal like that. And we're gonna do it again over here. So we want that on this side and then like this on this side. Okay, so one thing to note is that one side always has to be darker than the other. So I'm gonna make this right side. Now I'm gonna make it a little dark. Doesn't matter if your lines are not straight, just like that. Okay, one side is gonna be dark, same on this side. Okay, and then in the inside, I'm gonna do dotted lines. So it's kind of broken up lines. And then you still have like that shade that you did in the back, which makes it look a little bit more 3D. So one side is shaded hard and the other side is dotted. Then we can do the bottom here dark and the top dark, okay? And then let's say we want the z-axis, right? Let's draw two dots right in the middle. We want the z-axis to come out through here. So we draw a solid line here covering this back part, and then a dotted line in the inside, right? And we don't do solid again until we get to the outside. So let's skip this part here and just put solid on the outside. All right, so we know that this is the z-axis, and this standing up looks like this. So let's do these ovals, but now let's do them standing up. So we're gonna do kind of like that until you're happy with the shape, right? And then you can even go erasing lines. Let's say you want to erase some of the inside just to make it nicer. So you can always do that, but don't be afraid to kind of just mess it up a little bit with a couple different lines. Two lines coming down, and then again like this, and then the inside, right? So see, I got some lines here. That's fine. So one side dark, the other side light, right? So I'm gonna do this side here dark, and then dotted lines for the inside. This side here dark, all right, and then dotted lines for the inside. So now you can tell that you're looking at the front and the dotted line is the back. Okay, so now let's follow these lines down, and then we're gonna do the z-axis, right? Up, solid line, right? Nothing in here, right? Maybe a dotted line, all dotted on the inside, and then solid when it comes back out. Okay, now let's do some shading. I'm gonna leave these here so that way we can probably shade them with marker. So let's do some like this, but with shading. And just like in the other videos for the disc, so I'm just gonna do a fast little sketch of this again. So we got two ovals, right? Do your lines, doesn't matter if they're perfect or not. We got them coming down, and do another oval like that. One of them is dark, right? And the inside is light. Okay, we got the Z coming out, dotted line here, and then another one out. Okay, so for this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shade the top surface and the bottom surface. So what I wanna do is just draw lines across here and stop kind of halfway. And then more lines this way, and stop maybe a third of the way. Like in this area, we don't want to cover that at all. We just want to do that. So lines one way, so I'll do it down here again. Lines one direction like that, kind of halfway, and then lines in the opposite direction, maybe halfway like that. Then I want to shade this area back here darker, just this and this bottom part here, just that. Just this back part here, dark, and this part here. It doesn't matter if it's really dark, okay? And so then now I want to bring this line here a little bit darker and a little bit more in. Let's do light lines. Let's follow it. Let's do a couple light lines. Done. Okay, and then this shape here, right? I want to continue that with some light lines to kind of give it a little bit of depth. So you can see that it's a 3D cylinder. Okay, and so now I just want to make this side a little bit darker. And there, we can leave it like that for now. All right, so now we want to do, so looking from this example to a battery, right? We have the same thing. We have one cylinder, one flat surface up here. So one side is dark, the other side should have been all dotted. Here, dark, right? Dotted. And then you could do another one on the bottom, dark, and then dotted. Okay, so in the inside of the battery, there's a dark line, a dark line. Let's do the dotted one in the back, dotted one in the back, and then the lines going down like before. And so this thing usually is, I think silver. So we're just gonna, or an alloy type of look. So we're just gonna paint that a little bit, color that a little bit darker, just like that. Leave this corner there light. Okay, and then this is the positive side. Okay, just like we did with the shading here, let's do shading lines halfway and then the opposite direction, and then make this side a little darker. That's it. Okay, in here also, so we're gonna do lines in one direction, lines in the other direction, right, and then shade this darker. And for the battery, I think that this whole piece is just a different color in general, so I'm just gonna kind of do something like that, right? Just an example. So you can probably color that with something else to make it look really nice, but we'll shade it a lighter tone, maybe something like that. And then this part we could leave alone. We got this dotted line, and we have, this is the negative side down here. Okay, and so maybe we want to shade that the opposite direction, this a little darker. Done. All right, something like that. We got the same cylinder shape here, one side dark, dotted line in the back, one side dark, dotted line in the back, and then this one has a little dark center, right? We got dotted lines going down. This one could be solid. This is the end of the toilet paper here, and then make this solid here, comes back around, down. Let's shade that. Some dotted lines. I have no idea why I chose toilet paper, but it's pretty funny how many things are actually cylinder shaped. All right, so, and you never know when you need to draw some toilet paper. There, something like that. You know, maybe you could shade a little bit of this side. All right, so we have our same thing. So you see how like you have the shape here is dark and then this is light. This is dark and then this is light. So it's kind of like the same pattern everywhere. Dark, and you don't have to put the back, or you could put the back to show that there's like another side to it, but you could just put it like that if it's solid. This thing, just more complex shapes, and then how to break it apart. Before we do this, let's go back to our examples here. And I want to do something in physics that you'll see very often, and it's to check the electric field from a wire, and you want to draw a Gaussian surface surrounding that wire, and one of the best shapes is a cylinder. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say we have, let's draw a straight line. Let's say we have a wire. Okay, we're going to pretend this here is a wire. We're going to curve the end, dotted line on the inside, curve the end dark, dotted line on the inside, okay? This is like a thin little cylinder, but you know, just a wire, there's no volume. We're gonna pretend that it's really, really thin, okay? And then I'm gonna put plus charge all along that wire, okay? And let's shade it really light. Okay, and I'm gonna put the face of it a little bit darker than the rest of it. All right, so this is a thin wire. And then we wanna check the electric field a distance away from this wire. So we'll draw a Gaussian, right? And then we want to cover the entire, let's say this goes on to infinity. So this side and this side, they go off to infinity. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a Gaussian surface, which is a cylinder. Let's do what we did before. We got, just like here, we draw this oval shape. Let's draw this and come down like this. You wanna leave enough space to match the other side. So like this is about this much, I would say about this much it should be the other side. So right there and right there. And just keep drawing lines until you get the shape that you want. Like that. And don't go through this part. So bring it down and then bring it down, kind of like an egg, grape shape like that. Don't go through this part, all right? And you can draw as many lines as you want. This one can go over this side. Again, let's draw a horizontal line here and then here, okay? And then again, let's draw that shape. Don't be scared to draw a lot of lines and make it look really messy, as long as you get the shape that you want. All right, this goes to the back like that, and then we're gonna come down like this. This one can go across. Okay, so we got the basic shape. Now let's darken things up. So we got this side, which is gonna be dark, like that. This side, which is gonna be dark, all right? So this is the front side, and the back side is the dotted part. See, right in between all those lines, it makes it look better too. So messing up is probably not really messing up, just makes it look a little more 3D. And then draw this a little darker, this a little darker. And then what we're gonna do is, we're gonna draw a curved line here, right? Somewhere next to this line here, so estimate it anywhere. So from here, you can probably estimate it like right around there. Okay, make it a little bit dark. Make this one a little bit dark. Got rid of a plus there. Draw one there. Okay, so let me draw one in here. All right, so we drew these little cylinders because this long wire is going in through the bigger cylinder, and then you could put little dotted lines along the surface here, just along the surface like that. And then it's coming out again, solid line, solid line. Solid from here outward, from this disc outward, okay? And from the disc, dotted line, only from here outward is solid. Okay, and so the purpose of that is to show that this is inside of the bigger cylinder, all right? This oval shape, let's draw some lines going down like this. Here you don't want to cross the line, but from here to here you could shade it. You can go like that, right over it, just a little bit. Then we're going to do it the opposite direction. All right, you don't want to pass it on this side, but on this side, in between here and here, you can. There. Make this corner here a little bit darker. Just do some scribbles like that. Done. And then same here. So we want to do some lines going down like this. Don't pass this. So, but from here to here, you could make it dark. And then like that. Now the opposite direction. You don't want to pass this, but from here to here, we're good. Okay, then make the top part a little dark. All right, perfect. So now, let's say I want to check a distance out, right? We would just make our cylinder bigger, because this right here is a radius, okay? And that's the same thing as saying this top part is R. So if we want it bigger, we just go out more distance, and that's dr. Okay, so let's draw a little surface piece right here. We're gonna do a curve like this, right? A curve like this, straight line on top, and then straight line on the bottom. Okay, and we're gonna make from the positive charge, let's say we got a line that protrudes, that goes straight outward, okay, straight up. So we're gonna do a dot in the middle of here, and we're gonna show that there's a normal vector coming straight from the middle of this upward. That means from the center outward. And if we were to do one, let's say we did another one here. So let's do this curve right here. Okay, we'll do another one just like it. Horizontal line, and then another horizontal line. Okay, let's say I wanted to check here, right? And it's just coming down, straight down, straight down. From the center, I'm gonna draw outward, right? And that's gonna be the normal. So the normal is just perpendicular. So this is actually 90 degrees. It's coming out at a 90-degree angle. This one also, 90-degree angle. And you're gonna see, you can find that anywhere on the surface of this cylinder, you're gonna be coming out at 90 degrees. So basically, this view over here looks like this. We're gonna do these curves. Okay, do the curve just like that here. And so we're measuring something in here, like the positive, coming outward. And here it would just go straight out like that. That's the normal. All right, so let's shade this little surface area like that. And so these little surface areas are literally on the surface of the cylinder. So another way to show that is to make lines just like these curves all the way to the bottom, like that. Very light, starting from here back, very light, like that. Here, all the way down. And then some across this way, like that, right behind the little patch there. And then all the way down to here. Okay, so we're just drawing lines from this curve outward, and then we're drawing lines from here to here, curved like that. All right. So then you can kind of see that these things are on the outside. All right, so now let's look at a cylinder coming out of a plane. Okay, so we have, let's say we have a plane. Okay, let's draw a line like this, and the same line like this. Okay, we're gonna do horizontal line like this, horizontal line like that. Okay, you can see how it's kind of skewed to one direction. That's what we want. We don't want a perfect square. All right, so we have that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a cylinder. So we're gonna draw the shape right here, this famous shape. We'll call it the egg, or the grape, or football. Right here in the middle, okay? And then draw lines from here up, straight up, right? This is horizontal now. It's not curved like this one. This one's gonna be straight up like that. So we want another one straight up until you pass this line here, okay? And then erase that line. And once you have passed it, draw another egg or grape, whatever shape right here, a little circle, flat disc, okay? And then the same straight line here, we're gonna do dotted lines going down. Dotted lines, once we pass the plane, then we can do a solid line, And then again, just draw the circle, the disc right here. Okay, make sure they're kind of like the same. So this curve, and this curve. Kind of make sure that they're the same type of curve, right? And what we're gonna do is, now we're gonna add the dimensions to it. Let's see, before we do that, let's make it a fancy plane. All right, so let's erase a little bit of this solid line. Okay, so this line goes straight, okay, and this line is straight down. We want from the corner, right, from the corner of this plane, straight down a little bit. Here, straight down a little bit. And this part here, straight down a little bit, meaning like looking like that, okay? Then draw a line parallel to this one, like that. Draw a light, and then another one parallel to this one, just like that, okay? Not on the other side. So now we're gonna have a 3D plane, and let's make this dark, this area. So let's just shade that region that we made, like that, and then like this, okay? Darken them up a little bit in the back here. And we can darken it up on one side if we want. All right, and then this straight line we could darken along with these. Okay, so now let's work on the cylinder. Okay, let's darken up one side, right? And then dots on the other. Darken up one side, dots on the other. Same thing on the bottom. Darken up one side, we got dots on the other. Let's make these solid lines noticeable. We have dotted lines here. This area is going inside of the plane. I'll show you in a minute. And then here we got, you know, nice dark solid lines. I think we have dotted lines back here. Okay, we want to make this line outside on the plane solid. Okay, and now let's color in the plane. So let's put let's say we have positive charge all over the plane. So just draw random pluses everywhere. Not inside the cylinder, but in front of the cylinder you can, meaning like this area. Because the dotted lines means that it's inside of the plane. So all these plus charges are gonna be seen first. Okay, everything else leave empty and just fill it up. Okay, now what we're gonna do is from here to here, right? Shade it lightly like this. Okay, all of it from this curve to this line, all of this. And then all the way to the back, meaning this up to this line. Very lightly, just light everywhere. Okay, from this curve down, and then all the way to the back, not passing this line. Like that. All right, so then make this area here a little bit darker. Doesn't matter how you really shade it, just kind of make it darker. Make this area darker. That's this area over here. Okay, curve it a little bit, and let's say maybe this line a little bit, you know. That's maybe that. Okay. Hold on, maybe this a little bit here. All right, perfect. So now, let's work on the face, like the plate. So let's call this face here differential area 3. We'll call this one in here, we'll draw an arrow to it, differential area 2, and differential area 1. Draw a dot in the center of each of the ovals you made. Okay, so the first one, you can draw a solid line going up. That's the Z. Okay, dotted line all the way through to the next one. Dotted line all the way through to the next one. And then once it comes out from the bottom, solid again. Okay, let's shade just like we did here for the plate. Let's shade in one direction like this, around halfway. And then in the opposite direction, the same thing, almost halfway. And then darken up this left side, just randomly like that. Okay, one direction, halfway, the other direction, halfway, and darken up this side. And the same here. Got halfway in one direction, halfway in the other, and darken up the corner. Okay, let's erase anything you don't want sticking out, maybe this piece too. Okay, so now we're looking like a cylinder inside of a plane. All right, you can see how this is in the back and the plane is literally slicing the cylinder in half. And so in especially in E&M, you definitely be using this type of situation, because you're going to have a plane that's with charge, and you might want to see the flux going through the normal to this surface, which is 90 degrees, right? And the normal to this surface, which is the differential area of this, and dA1. And then here, you don't count the middle, but what you do count is, again, we're gonna do a little patch type of thing, just like a surface area, and you do from the center outward. So we do that. We're gonna check the charge in those 3 areas. So for now, I don't want to go through E&M stuff, but I just want to show you where you're gonna see this mostly. Here we can just represent this as R from the center out, and I think that's it for that one. All right, I was gonna do this in one big video, but I think I'm gonna split it into 2, and then show you some more advanced ways to draw the cylinder, and then add some color, and then we're gonna move on to some E&M problems. All right.